What is up, breath of fresh air? It's your boy Patrick back. Been a while since I've been on, but I'm gonna be your host today. And I hope everybody had a great Christmas, a great New Year's. Hope everybody enjoyed all the football. I know I did with Georgia winning. Go Dogs! Um, but before we get started, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Leave some feedback, leave some comments. Let us know what we're doing. Good, bad, ugly, don't matter. We love to respond. We love the comments, and we love all of the interaction that we're getting so far. So let's jump into it. Smoking and doping. You're under the microscope. Let's get it. So this is one of the this topic is an interesting topic for me. So I really kind of broke these down into two topics. One smoking, one doping. And first of all, I'm going to start with the doping. And it's kind of a weird system that these sports organizations they're taking on. So MLB, let's start with MLB. And when I talk about doping, I'm not talking about PEDs and stuff like that. I'm talking about what's interesting is the marijuana use. And when I bring it up like this, obviously our country is, excuse me, obviously our country is going into this legalization of marijuana and a lot of the benefits that it brings to our economic standpoint and as a society, what Colorado is doing and what Washington is doing and how well their economy is working because of the legalization of marijuana. I think there's a lot of pros to it. Obviously, there's a lot of cons to it. But I do feel 100% on my end. I do feel that the legalization of marijuana, the pros definitely outweigh the cons. But I wanted to bring this in to full scope of what MLB's doing, NFL's doing, NBA, WNBA are doing, and soccer. It's kind of weird that the way they do things, and they're doing it so differently, and it's really interesting to me. So we're going to start with baseball and how MLB runs their anti-doping campaign, I guess. So MLB breaks down into it's kind of weird how the MLB breaks it down to, but the MLB breaks it down is there's two types of standpoints, and basically with baseball it's kind of like this on almost every aspect of the game. It's about timing. It's always about timing with baseball. And the difference out of MLB and minor league, which is the two different types, is basically the union. So it was in MLB is in the union, minor league is not. So, but they do run under the same guidelines, kind of, sort of. So the way it breaks down is that if in baseball you really can't drug test somebody unless there's a probable cause. So baseball is actually a more lenient sport on marijuana, and I thought that was kind of interesting that baseball is the more lenient sport when I personally thought football was a little bit more lenient, but baseball actually comes around and is totally more lenient. But the union states that you can't do a drug test unless there's probable cause. So there's so many questions that come up to my mind is like, what causes probable cause? Is it something as detrimental as on your personal time, or is it on MLB's time? What is considered MLB's time? So there's so many questions that bring up to my head, but anyway. But that's the difference is, minor league, on the other hand, is by rules by baseball, and baseball says that, you can't do it, and if you do it, then there's game suspensions. So you can actually get suspended by games in both MLB and minor league, but MLB has to be strictly by probable cause. So I thought that was kind of interesting. NFL. NFL is a little bit more strict. They kind of break it down pretty point blank. I mean, it's random drug test. If you fail, then you got game suspensions, and you have to go to um, like Drugs Anonymous or whatever it is. You just have to go to something that says that you are trying to stop doping, I guess. Um, but there's really no set what you have to do. You get fined. You can get suspension of games after your second one. But it's a random drug test, and most of that is done preseason. So once preseason is done, there's no more drug testing throughout the rest of the year, which is the reason why I thought NFL was a little bit more lenient, but baseball kind of took over that. Hockey. Hockey is a quite an interesting one. Hockey says that they have to do 200, no less than 200 random drug tests at which they do not reveal if you pass or fail. so what's the point, honestly? No names are given out who passes. I think it sounds like they just take all the urine, put it in a pot, stir it up real good, and if it fails, it fails. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I guess I don't know, but there's really no set limit. It really doesn't say there's any suspension or anything like that. Or if you do fail, they bring them all back in and do another drug test. It really doesn't say. It just says random drug test, and most of it is throughout the season. So I thought that was kind of interesting how relaxed even the NHL was. The one that's really kind of did not surprise me at all is how strict the NBA and the WNBA were. They give random drug tests during the preseason, random drug tests throughout the season, and can also randomly pick a team and drug test them, which I thought was kind of a bit far on how they do it. But they have where you have to go to a class and show that you're going through your Drugs Anonymous, I guess. But then you also can get suspensions and up to $45,000 in fines. I thought that was crazy. They are really strict, which doesn't surprise me, but it's the NBA. It doesn't surprise me. That really doesn't surprise me at all. And then soccer. Soccer is, to me, was more strict than even the NBA, but there's some things that I was like, you really kind of went lenient on that. But it's they get random drug tests throughout the season, and you can get it hit as many as 3 times a week. But again, I didn't see any 100% what says you get your punishment from, or what your punishment is. So I thought it was kind of interesting, but I thought it was an interesting topic. So yeah, let us know what you think about those. But I got to real quick handle this one other topic. Legal smoking age went from 18 to 21, but crazy enough, the dipping age did not change. Now, I have a theory on this. Like I said, I got to make this one pretty quick. But I feel that with moving into that age range of if you're going to be able to smoke at 21, drink at 21, but dip at 18, I think that people that are willing to die for their country should be able to smoke and drink if they want to at age 18. I don't think there should be a 21 age limit. But then my friend Parker, shout out to Parker, who enlightened me a little bit from his point of view. He also is he works at a smoking vapor store. And he says when these kids come in at 18 years old, they don't really know what they're looking for. They're not getting educated. And that's what his business is about, is educating you and trying to get you off of the cigarettes and onto vaping, that which will help you move past even smoking at all, which I thought was a really cool concept for a business, especially when their main income is smoking, but your concept is to get people off of smoking. He told me, it's like, these kids don't know what they want, and it's hard to educate when they see on TV this is what it is. So my personal opinion, If driving is a privilege, maybe smoking and dipping and drinking all at 18 should be a privilege. And if you can pass a test to drive, maybe we should create a test that shows your competency on drinking and smoking and dipping. Or maybe smoking and dipping on one, drinking and driving, drinking on one and then driving on another. And if you pass it, you get to drink at 18, you get to smoke at 18. If you cannot pass it, 21 it is. Anyway, I think that would be a good concept, but that's what I'm breathing on. If y'all have any questions, comments, or feedback, drop them into the comment section. Let us know what we are doing, good, bad, ugly. It don't matter. And until next time, enjoy the rest of the football games that's happening, and I will talk to y'all next week, probably before the national championship between LSU and Clemson. So anyway, y'all have a good rest of your week, and talk to you then.